Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game. So today I got a fun and very exciting episode for you guys this evening because we're playing Super Mario and the Rainbow Stars. Calling this thing a ROM hack would be an absolute understatement. It is a brand new Super Mario game combining Paper Mario and Mario and Luigi into its own platformer, and honestly, this feels so refined, so new and refreshing. It does feel like a genuine game a Nintendo third-party developer could have made for Nintendo as a pivot on their normal formula. This is definitely a fan game, but you would never know it. This feels like something you would buy on Switch for $60, and I mean that in the best way possible. Before I get too far involved, though, do me a huge favor down below, hit like and subscribe and ring that notification bell. Definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, I have a Patreon link down below as well. But a viewer of the channel actually sent me a tweet saying that this game was available, and I figured I would check it out and see if there was anything here to make a video about. And I'm just showing you the early parts of the game and hiding a lot of the story because honestly, the story in this feels so fully featured and well written and has a lot of tongue-in-cheek humor nodding towards the overall Mario universe, which is a lot of fun to see. And honestly, if you told me this was made by a professional development studio, I would believe you, but this was made by fans, proving again that fan developers can do every bit as good and sometimes better than a professional development house out there. And honestly, this game is just a breath of fresh air. It's both uniquely familiar as well as completely new all at the same time, because obviously it's a 2D Mario side-scroller. You're going to be able to instantaneously pick it up and play it, but there's going to be so many new features, so much new story, so many new moves. It's going to feel like something brand new at the same time, and that is definitely something the Super Mario franchise could use, because while I love Super Mario Wonder, and it did feel fresh in some spots, in other ways I kind of felt like I was playing 50% of the same game I've been playing for like the last 10 years or so since New Super Mario Brothers, where something like Super Mario and the Rainbow Stars feels like a brand new subgenre of a game that you remember. And right off the top, I will say this is an absolutely gorgeous looking game. As far as the visuals are concerned, it is a straight 10 out of 10. I don't say that lightly, honestly. I just absolutely love the look of this game. Now, as far as the level structure, the overall gags in each level, you're going to be seeing and doing something new and unique in basically every single stage, and you're absolutely going to want to keep playing this game just to see what it shows you next. And that is what you want out of a Mario game, whether it's made by Nintendo or fans. That sense of discovery, that sense of wonder, just thinking what's around the corner, what sort of new feature are they going to implement in the next stage. Something like this auto-scrolling underwater level here with the frog suit from the NES Mario, it just works. It's challenging, it's different, it feels like a Mario game just doing something slightly new and something slightly unique, and that is something I think the properties need in the 2D games. And the control definitely feels amazing as well. It's slightly different than your standard Mario 2D platformer, but that's because it is trying to kind of harken back to Paper Mario and the Mario and Luigi games, and it definitely works. Once you understand the moveset, how you can do things, and how the game functions, you're going to be absolutely destroying it. And it pays a lot of attention to different wall jumps and dives as well, kind of feeling a little bit like Super Mario Galaxy in the moveset, even though it's on a 2D plane. And you'll see Goombooter here. I think that might be a Goomba computer, not quite sure yet. It just is such a fun looking design. The 16:9 nature, the nice sprite work, all of the real-time lighting just lends itself to making this feel like it's a fully professional developed game with a team of 10 to 15 artists sitting at a game development office somewhere, and that again is just so spectacular to see. The boss fights in this game are new, unique, and creative while still feeling like they belong in the Mario universe, and honestly this is something that I do like because the Mario and Luigi games, the Paper Mario games, are some of my favorite art styles, so combining those two together both in gameplay and in visual just works to make something that Nintendo's never made before. And you'll see here we finally beat Goombooter and we get a little bit of story. And I am hiding most of the story from you in this video because it is exceptionally well written. This is every bit as good as anything a team at Nintendo could write. The characters, all of their different developments and motivations just 100% convince you that you're playing something that you could buy on a store shelf. And honestly, it may review better than some of the Nintendo games that have come out recently. The best part is you also get a lot of quasi-new characters as well as the old standbys. Bowser here is always going to show up and he's always going to be doing something evil, but they do a really fun pivot on the story, introducing their own motivations, and honestly some of the humor I'll show you later is very tongue-in-cheek and kind of calls back to previous Mario games. And you get this trio of baddies right here. There's Goombooter, and I'll leave the other two for you to discover when you play the game, because this game is absolutely massive. I've been playing it outside of Capture just for fun, and I've absolutely fallen in love with it, and I even appreciate that the overworld is is a full 3D affair with a 2D Mario sprite. Definitely mixes up its visual style. It's going to be 2D in the gameplay and 3D in the overworld map, and this again, it just looks absolutely professional. There is no delineating line between this game and a game made by Nintendo, and of course it's got a great soundtrack as well. Listen for 45 seconds and I'll be right back. Amazing music, and I love that when you go underwater it actually drones out a little bit. There's a ton of small touches in this game that you can tell the developers loved adding in, and while some of the compositions are going to be new, you've never heard them before, it will use some music from other Mario games, but in context of what you're actually seeing on screen, it just absolutely nails it with the overall tone and vibe. And you can tell this game was made with love. That's not a quantifiable measurement. You can't go to a professional development studio and say, how much love did you put into a game? It's not something you can measure. It's just something you can feel, and you absolutely feel it here. Let's move back to that underwater level for just a bit so I can show you how it ends, because it was one of my favorite levels from the beginning of the game. Now I'm going to say something that maybe you're going to want to comment on in the bottom, and you totally can. Just remember, I'm not knocking Nintendo for any good reason. Given the choice between playing Super Mario Wonder or Super Mario and the Rainbow Stars, I prefer this game over Nintendo's previous effort in a 2D Mario space. The developers of this title, in my opinion, have beaten Nintendo at their own game, giving us something more fun, more unique, and more charming than Nintendo themselves was capable of doing, at least for that release. And don't get me wrong, I do think Super Mario Wonder is a great game. I played it with my wife. We play all the new Mario games when they come out, but she's been absolutely loving this one as well. It is just one of those titles that feels like something you played before but is brand new and unique at the same time. That is how good I think this title is, and I do appreciate that they also use some callbacks to previous games and keep the characters' overall personalities the same. Like right here in this first opening area, nobody knows Luigi's name. Formati here, or Format, obviously you can tell there's some name puns going on, thinks Luigi's name is Louie, and other Toads don't even remember his name. Poor Luigi's been taking a beating since the beginning of time, and it continues here in this title. But I love that the writers actually brought that humor in and basically still made Luigi that downtrodden, forgotten about secondary character that we remember in every other game. And honestly, the mix of 3D and 2D in both the storytelling and the overworld just absolutely work. I love this art style. I love this font using some of the icons from the Super Mario universe. It is just charming and really does have that Paper Mario feel to it. And then when you mix in that 3D overworld and even have these binoculars, that gives you this nice depth of field effect when you zoom in. You're going to see that it loses and regains its focus as you zoom in or out. The small touches in this game are what absolutely make it. Every single screen, every single pixel, every single level is absolutely lousy with something new to see, look at, and do, and that's what genuinely matters. I am just 100% blown away by the effort put into this game. I don't know how many people are on the team. It is just the Super Mario and Rainbow Stars team, so whoever you are out there, you did a spectacular job. And don't think people send me these things asking to review their own games. It rarely happens, and I rarely do it. This is something I found based upon a recommendation of a viewer. I played it, figured I'd see what was going on, and I'm 100% going to beat this game, 100% it, and have an absolute blast doing it. And the best part is, if you want to play this today, it's 100% free. You can download it and start enjoying it. The only wrong way to play this game is to not play it in the first place. It is just one of those rare times in which a fan game beats the original developers at their own intention. And again, that's not to say Nintendo doesn't make incredible Mario games. Obviously they do. There's just something about Super Mario and the Rainbow Stars that 100% nails the formula and feels like a completely new Mario genre at the same time. And that's not something you get to play, experience, or say every single week. There's a ton of amazing fan games out there, but not many of them actually feel like they are as good, if not better, than what the original developers made. But Super Mario and the Rainbow Stars definitely hits that mark, just feeling like something that is fully professionally developed, something that Nintendo themselves would do, and probably something that Nintendo actually wishes they had done. But short of that, go play the game, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.